Hey there, Robbie Susan Chandler here from RobbieSusanCardsandCrafts.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Quincy, Florida, right outside Tallahassee, Florida. Today I'm here to share this really cute card with you that I used it just as a hope you're feeling better card, just sending a note, but it was, I think, intended as a Valentine card because this was a stamp set called Sending Love. Although it doesn't actually have Happy Valentine's, it does have a little love from me to you and a little note to say I miss you. But this was the stamp set that these dies came with. I didn't actually use any of the stamps except this striped one on the inside. But this is part of the bundle. But anyway, let's look at the card. Here's the card. Talking about the stamp set, I didn't even use that much, but look at the card. Oh, and look, I've got mail. Look at there. Woohoo! How many of you watched that movie? I just loved it at the end when she said, I was hoping it was you. So anyway, back to the card. So you can make this mailbox open and put a little envelope that comes with the die set in it. I just left mine like that, and I'll probably put a little glue dot there to hold it down. And the little flag actually moves, but you could also glue it so it's stable. But anyway, let's take a look on how to put this card together. So our base is actually Pebbled Path. It's 11 by 4 1/4 inches, scored at 5 1/2, and we just fold it in half like this. And the next layer is a 4 by 5 1/2 piece that comes from this pack of paper, and I actually use this piece here. Like I said, it's 4 by 5 1/4 inches. And it's the back of this sheet, which when you look at that, you thought, oh, it's so hard to use the back of that and glue that down, and it was, but this was really the look that I wanted. And this pack is called Nature's Sweetness. Nature's Sweetness. So that's our next layer. And what I did to that piece is I ran it through the Time Worn Type embossing folder and kind of textured it up to give it a little interest. And that piece actually goes right down on the front like this. And you know what, let's just stick it down here for a minute. I'll probably be making this card up. Okay, and if you look, there's print on here, but some of it goes this way, some of it goes this way, so you really have to look at your Time Worn Type embossing folder to determine. So right here I can see L and an O and a V-E-S-T, so I know that this is the right way to put this down. But you know, someone's going to sit and look that closely at your card. I don't know if that's a compliment or what, but anyway, that's the way that die goes down, that embossing folder goes down. Let me move that out of the way. Okay, so we've got our first layer on. Now, I started adding some greenery on here. And our greenery came from the Notes of Nature dies. And this is actually garden green. And I cut this strip and these two little leaves because I wanted a little more greenery on there. And I just stuck that down on this side. So now it's time to work on our mailbox. Now the mailbox and all those dies, let me move you. The mailbox and all those dies came from the Sending Love dies, which looks like this. And here's the mailbox, and I cut it from this paper called 2023-2024 In Color Luster Specialty Paper. And I just thought that the Pebbled Path luster piece just looked like a mailbox. Isn't that cool? So let's look at some of the where they put the design here for you. There's a hole, and here's a little flag that we cut. I forgot to bring my brads over here. Anyway, so you put your little brad in there and attach your flag, well, like this. And then there's a little score line right here at the bottom. There's several, but you've got to watch for the right one. You want the one that leaves, you still got a little design there, the mailbox. You want the one below that, so you just fold that under. So make sure you put your flag on first. And you'll really have to mash this on the back if you want that to stay, because we found it really didn't want to hold up. And then to glue it together, there's two ways you could do this. You could flip it around and do it like this, which that would work because you're going to put this down so it's kind of unfinished on the back. But I decided to put my glue right along this lip. Yeah, sure I did. There we go. And just push those together like that. And make sure that they're even in the front. Just like that. And you know, this little flap will go up to close the mailbox if you want to send it like that closed up. Alright. And I have one, since this wants to take a minute or two to dry, I have one already done right here. Another piece of the mailbox is the post. And I just cut it out of white. And I sponged a little, well, brushed a little pebble path on it to, I don't want to say dirty it up, but make it look like it'd been out in the weather. And then I just put dimensionals on the back of it. And when you put it down, you have to think to the left, because this mailbox is really big, and if you get your post too far over, your mailbox is going to come off the card. So I use dimensionals and try to put some of the leaves around it. And let's just go ahead and put our mailbox on there since we've got it. The dimensionals on it ready to go. Put these right here. So I just want to sit it about right there. Perfect. And some of these little, let's do the ones at the bottom first. So at the bottom, these are also in this stamp set. It's these little bushes, what I call them. There was also a strip of grass, but I like the bushes better, and I cut those out of garden green. So one of them I glued flat, the back one. Let's put him down. By doing one dimensioned and one flat, it gives your card a little more what I call real life look or dimension to it, and not so flat. I really like things popped up on my cards. Alright, and see, I've got my post just far enough up that I can hide the bottom of it with that. And then I'm going to add my little leaves here. Now one of them, this bigger one, I put, let's put this here, I just stuck it in behind the mailbox up here. Just want a little greenery showing out of there. And then the smaller one, I put down here at the bottom. Like right up by the post. Like right there. Okay, whoops, I see the stem of it showing. Let's move it up a little bit. There we go. You know how hard it is to weed eat around the bottom of a, you know what, I didn't pull that backing off, so why that doesn't want to stick. No wonder. You know, dimensionals do work a lot better when the backings are taken off first. And I'm sure all of you have done that. Okay, so there we have our grass, our post, our mailbox, but what about our letter? Well, this die is also in the set. And it's this one right here. And you just fold it and fold the sides in first. And you know, I was telling some of my customers, you could cut a little rectangle about this size and slip it down in here if you wanted to, and put something on it like I love you or surprise or something like that. And then this one goes up next, and you could just glue those together and stop there, but I actually just went on and pulled this flap down and glued mine all together like that. So there's your little, looks like I got mine backwards over here. This one's right. This one's not so right. Don't do like I did there. This one's correct, not correct. A good example, a non-example. Anyway, back to this one. So then you've got this together, and you're just going to slip it right inside your little mailbox. There you go. Now let's see, what did I do on the inside? I know you're asking yourself. Well, on the inside I used a piece of paper from, it's one of the Free Celebrations, softly stippled. And this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And I've started using these at Blend from the designer packs. If they seem like they look really good with the card, just kind of use up some of these paper. You know, you got to use your paper, don't just store it. So on the inside I just stamped the Hope You're Feeling Better, and that stamp is from, let's see, here's my stripe down the side. And that stamp is from So Sincere. Hope you're feeling better soon. And then your In My Hearts and Prayers in here too, and there's so many you could put in here. Love spending time with you. And I think it really looks nice with this kind of paintbrush look inside this card. And then on the front, I just stamped Just a Note, and you can use any punch you have. Now the Just a Note came from Go To Greetings, which also has plenty you could use. A hello, a thank you, thinking of you, happy birthday, any of those would work from this set. This is a very good go-to set when you need sentiment, and I love it that it's got all these different sizes. Okay, and I just stuck it just right down here, kind of behind this greenery, to say Just a Note to you. So there you go. How do you like that? Isn't that a cute card? And I actually have entered this card in a contest, so if it's before February the 13th, Tuesday, February 13th, there's still time to vote for this card. If it's afterwards, the voting's over, and I hope I did well with it. But anyway, there's a link on my blog, which is below this video, on how to get to my blog where you could vote for it. Anyway, I want to straighten that up. So here we go. There's a link to the instructions below. There's also a link to the supplies I used, and there's a link to my blog. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please click on my little picture there and it'll let you subscribe. And please like the video. If you don't have a demonstrator, please let me be your demonstrator, and I'd love for you to be on my team. So until next time, happy crafting.